Many people know Fela Kuti, but long before his name became synonymous with rebellion, his mother had already begun confronting power in ways that were rare for her time. Funmilayo Ransome-Kuti. She is often introduced in relation to him, but that framing does not quite capture who she was, because she was not defined by his legacy. If anything, she helped shape the conditions that made it possible. Born in 1900 in Abeokuta, Nigeria, she grew up in a society where opportunities for girls were limited and tightly controlled. Education for women was not the norm, yet she accessed it early, becoming one of the first girls in her community to attend school and later one of the few to enter Abeokuta Grammar School. In 1919, she traveled to England. There, she studied education, languages, and social sciences. But beyond formal learning, she encountered new ideas about power, rights, and governance. When she returned to Nigeria, she did not simply resume life as it was. She began to question it. She distanced herself from colonial identity and chose to engage directly with her people, often in their own language. And gradually, she began to organize. At the time, many women faced economic pressure, including taxation policies imposed without representation. In 1944, she helped establish what became the Abeokuta Women's Union. It expanded into a broad movement that brought together women across class lines, traders, workers, mothers. By 1947, large-scale protests had begun. Thousands of women mobilized using both traditional forms of expression and organized political pressure. When their concerns were ignored, they escalated. In 1948, they confronted the Alake of Egba, a ruler closely tied to colonial authority. The symbolism of that moment mattered. Women occupied spaces and roles that had historically excluded them. It was political, it was cultural, and it was disruptive. The outcome was significant. The Alake stepped down. Tax policies were reviewed. Women gained representation. It was not a complete transformation, but it was a clear shift. And as a woman today, looking at this moment, it is hard not to pause. To organize at that scale, in that context, against both colonial power and social restriction, it feels extraordinary. Her influence continued beyond Abeokuta. She became a national figure in both the independence movement and the struggle for women's rights. In 1977, during a military raid on her son's home, soldiers forced their way inside. She was thrown from a second-floor window. She survived the fall, but not the injuries. She died the following year. A woman who spent her